State Farm Insurance Companies continue their support of women's athletics and the Ladies Professional Golf Association with the 2001 State Farm LPGA Series. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. This is Annika Sorenstam at the 18th hole, her 9th hole of the day, and folks, we're watching something very special. This is for birdie, and this would be her 9th straight birdie.
Come on.
Not to be. So Annika Sorenstam starts her day with 8 straight birdies, and if you count the 2 birdies she finished with yesterday, she made 10 straight birdies in a row, Judy Rankin, and what a terrific start for the LPGA Tour's leading money winner and the winner last week in Tucson. As we'll take you back to highlights from earlier. She birdied both the 10th, the par 5, and the 11th, the par 3. This long one, Judy, for birdie at the 12th.
Well, it was the beginning of a phenomenal 9 holes of golf.
That's the 394-yard par 4 12, and she goes, well, I got a little lucky there, possibly. Now at the 13th, 506-yard par 5, this for eagle.
Got the ball to the front portion of the green in 2, the long one for eagle. Just hits the edge of the hole.
Good effort there by Annika Sorenstam. She would tap in that short one and then move on to the 14th, 355-yard par 4, this her second.
Slightly elevated green, just a wedge.
And looking for 5 birdies in a row, and that should do that. At 15, 164-yard par 3. Now this is Meg Mallon playing alongside, and Judy with a putt on a very similar line that Annika would have.
Annika stepped in to get a good look at the roll of her fellow competitor's putt.
And this for 6 in a row. And there you go, folks. Annika Sorenstam, who opened up with a 65 yesterday, would move on to 16, her second, 414-yard par 4.
Newly designed green is like an inverted bowl. It's very high around the back edges.
And watch how the bowl effect works on the second shot of Annika Sorenstam. Beautifully played right there. And then this for birdie number 7 in a row. Right in the center of the cup. On to 17. 360-yard par 4. And oh, don't let that putter go flying. That thing has been working beautifully. This for 8 birdies in a row and a difficult putt here.
It will have to work here. It goes downhill, back uphill. It moves from left to right.
Now she's starting to think, what in the world's going on? You don't ask any questions. When you've made 8 straight birdies to start your day, you just take it and go. And as we just saw live a moment ago at the 18th, hit a really good tee shot. Bill Kratzert was out there watching on that hole. Billy, she hit a beautiful drive at 18.
Well, Roger, she got up there, and I mean, the water was not even in play, even though it's playing back into the breeze just a little bit. I mean, she just absolutely took it down the left-hand side, only had a little 8-iron, and I think she may have misjudged, may have been a little cautious with that bunker in the back, but nonetheless, that's as impressive a 9 holes as you'll ever see in the game of golf.
Well, just to put it in perspective, the longest birdie streak in LPGA Tour history, 9 by Beth Daniel in '94 at Onion Creek down in Austin, and the lowest 9 holes in relation to par, Mary Beth Zimmerman back in '84 at the State Farm Rail, 8 under 28. So she has this putt for par for her first 9 holes, going out in 28.
Well, and you know, interesting thing about this 9 holes is this 9 holes played just about a stroke harder for the field yesterday than the front 9. So she is going to a 9 holes that looks like it's just sitting there waiting for her to make some more birdies.
Well, we've got absolutely perfect conditions here this week. Course is in great shape. Of course, last year the Standard Register Ping, they were not here because of renovations being done to Moon Valley Country Club. To a player, they love what's been done here. And Annika Sorenstam, who shot 65 yesterday and has this putt for par and rolls it in. And folks, what a 9 holes of golf. She'll go over to the first tee and look at the circles on that scorecard. 8 under 28 for Annika Sorenstam, the winner last week, the Tour's leading money winner. And Annika is not the only player who is tearing it up. Some other good scores. Dottie Pepper so far 5 under on her round today, but Annika with a 5-shot lead. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, and the LPGA are proud to present second round coverage of the Standard Register Ping. And welcome out here to Phoenix, Arizona, where we've got a spectacular day for you and some spectacular golf in store. We've already seen such great play from Annika Sorenstam. We'll continue to follow her very special round here. The second round of this $1 million Standard Register Ping. Along with Judy Rankin, I'm Roger Twyble, and we welcome you out here to the Valley of the Sun. And what a morning it's been so far for Annika Sorenstam. We were prepared to talk about the tournament and course record 9 under 63 by Chris Cheddar yesterday, but all of a sudden, Annika Sorenstam 8 straight birdies to start her round.
I tell you, birdies are everywhere. We have seen so many records broken in this 2001 season, and this good golf course in such tremendous shape this week looks like it is going to give us even bigger stories.
You know, Annika Sorenstam has made no bones about it. She wants to be the #1 player in the world. 3 tournaments prior to this week, 2 seconds, and then a win last week in Tucson in impressive fashion at 23 under par. She's putting her stamp on 2001 already.
She has stood up and said, I do not want to be amongst the best players in the world. I want to be the best female golfer in the world. And she's laying it all on the line, and I think doing a very nice job of it, Roger.
Very nice so far. Annika Sorenstam, would you call that the zone that she was in there? You've been there before?
I certainly would call that the zone, and I would say there's a little euphoria inside of Annika right now that probably will take her through to greater things even today. I think 60 and breaking 60 is starting to be in the quotient if she gets going at all on the front 9.
Leading money winner. And look at the international dominance there. Judy Laurie Kane from Canada, Kari Webb, Australia, Sari Pak, Grace Park, the Korean Sophie Gustafsson from Sweden. A U.S. player has not won a tournament yet in 2001.
And I think most of the U.S. players are very aware of that.
And Dottie Pepper, 5 shots back. She's got herself a terrific round going so far today. And Chris Cheddar has not yet started on this day after setting that tournament course record 9 under 63 yesterday, coming off hip surgery last summer. So Chris Cheddar has a little something to say. But here was the player who last year was the #1 player, Kari Webb. This for birdie at the 15th and rolls it around and in. So Kari, who went home for about 3 weeks and did, Judy, pick up a victory, not an official LPGA event, but a victory down in Australia nonetheless. So that has to bode well for her confidence. Annika Sorenstam by 5 over Dottie Pepper in the second round of this Standard Register Ping. ESPN's second round coverage of the LPGA's Standard Register Ping is being brought to you by Standard Register, touching your life through innovation. By Ping, custom fit golf clubs. Ping, a club for every shot in your bag. And by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Kari Webb getting ready for her second shot out at the 16, 414-yard par 4.
Let me correct myself about this green. Not an inverted bowl, but in fact a bowl that is very high around the edges. And she will have a similar putt that Annika Sorenstam made for her 7th birdie of the day right there.
Out at 15, 164-yard par 3. This is Yu Ping Lin, and she is not the only, Annika is not the only player really tearing it up. Yu Ping Lin with 8 birdies and a bogey so far in her round today. This gets you 8 under, and she rolls it right in. So these greens obviously very, very receptive to the players and rolling true. As we move to Rachel Teskey playing her first 9 holes, this at the 18th.
You may have known her as Rachel Hetherington. Her husband is Dean Teskey, and Dean was around even when Rachel Hetherington was winning professional tournaments on the LPGA Tour, but last year she took Dean's name on her golf bag, and as the permanent name that we will address Rachel with.
Rachel 1 under on a round today, opened up with a 5 under 67. And you can see that flagstick just laying still right there. Not much of a breeze so far today. Annika Sorenstam has made the turn, has moved to the front side. She's at 15 under. Dottie Pepper 5 back. Dottie got off to a blistering start, birdied 5 of the first 6 holes. As a matter of fact, she's birdied 6 of her first 8. Chris Cheddar yet to tee off. Fukushima and Yu Ping Lin at 8 under. The asterisk over on the side indicating those players that teed off on the backside. Kathy Johnston Forbes and Hiromi Kobayashi both with fine opening rounds. Lori Kane, Maggie Will at 5 under. Joanne Carner. What about Joanne Carner yesterday? Judy, going to be 62 in April.
Unbelievable. Shoots a round of 68, bogey free. She is still a great ball striker. She's still clearly a great player. But a bogey-free round of 68 in competition at 61 years of age, pretty darn impressive.
Some of the other scores there, Beth Daniel, Kelly Robbins at 3 under, Wendy Ward, and see Kari Webb there at 2 under. Well, we mentioned the renovation here at Moon Valley, and to a player, they've all just raved about it. Par of 72, just under 6,500 yards. The original course architect back in 1960, Dick Wilson, very famous architect back in the 50s and 60s. Did a lot of courses here in the valley, really all over the country. The redesign by Bob Cupp, and the course record yesterday, Chris Cheddar, 9 under 63.
And her course record round almost getting lost in Annika's great start today. But Chris Cheddar has not teed off yet today. And I would think that seeing Annika's score up there on the scoreboard will put a little added pressure on Chris Cheddar.
As we go to 16, and Kari Webb. Spoke to her on the putting green before she went out today, and said she really enjoyed the time she spent at home, Judy, and obviously winning down there in Australia at the Australian Ladies Masters. A 4-peat for her, as a matter of fact. Really did a lot for her confidence.
She really enjoys her visits home to the small town of Ayr, where she is from, and now she has a special thing to go see when she goes home, which is the Delta Theater, the theater where her mother and father used to go as children. Kari got involved in an auction and a bidding for this old theater. She bought it. Her parents have renovated it and are running it, and it is just a charming, charming family story.
So if we ever get to Ayr, chances are we can.
I think we can get a free ticket to the movie.
Get some popcorn. Yeah. Ayr is just slightly off the beaten path. To put it in perspective, if you can imagine where Brisbane, Australia is up in Queensland, it's well north of there.
The very putt Annika Sorenstam made 30 minutes ago or so, it moves from the left to the right.
Just a little bit too far outside. Well, who would have thought at this point in time the year ago, won on their respective tours. Granted, Kari did pick up the win down in Australia, but it's just, isn't it amazing, this game of golf?
Well, the more you play, and the more you play at the level that these people are playing, the more you realize that there is a very fine line between winning and losing. Just like if you're a recreational player, there's a fine line between that shooting 80 and breaking 80 some days.
That's right. And we'll go to 17. Second shot for Patty Sheehan, a 360-yard par 4. And, of course, some big news. Patty Sheehan, the Solheim Cup captain for 2002, and Judy Rankin had a chance to sit down and speak to the new captain.
Let's talk about what the makeup of a team might be in 2002. I think the early part of this 2001 season has already shown us that you may have some new faces on the Solheim Cup team next year.
Yeah, I think this may be a real changing of the guard, so to speak. I think we're going to see a lot of young players, and that's a good thing. Some of the more experienced veterans will certainly be trying hard to get on the team, but the younger players are really working hard, and I've chatted with a few of them, and I've tried to, kick them a little bit in the backside and get them motivated, because we're going to really need them.
Do you have great organizational skills?
I don't know, Judy. I think in my past experiences as a business person, I'm probably not the most organized person in the world, but I'm really trying hard. I've got a lot of things in my big notebook, which is sitting right over there, and hopefully I'll be able to stay organized and stay on track.
Well, no surprise that Dottie Pepper leads those point standings right now. It's very early in this year, 2001. The match is in September next year, 2002, the third week in September.
20th to 22nd at the Interlochen Country Club in Edina, Minnesota.
Interlochen with a great history, and these wonderful players and those wonderful players that make up the European team, really looking forward to the matches there.
And the 2002 Solheim Cup, by the way, and all future stagings, Judy, will feature the 28-point format, foursomes and four-ball matches on the first 2 days and single matches on the final day. They adopted that in their meetings yesterday. They used that format in 96 and 98, but changed it last year.
It had to do with daylight hours,
right,
on into October in Scotland and so on, but absolutely mirrors the format of the Ryder Cup.
Rachel Teskey, her birdie attempt there just slides by at 18. As we'll move to 16, and Yu Ping Lin, who opened up with an even par 72 yesterday. Parred her first hole, bogeyed her second hole, but then ripped off 3 birdies in a row and has been going strong from there. Has birdied 5 of 6 on the backside so far, and not what she was hoping for there with her second shot.
Yeah, that would not have been a good one. Yu Ping Lin, born in Taiwan, makes her home now in California. A rookie last year, so just playing in her second season on the LPGA Tour.
As we can see from the green there, some good-sized greens here at Moon Valley. As out on the golf course, Mary Bryan will be with Jennifer Rosales, Amy Alcott, and Dottie Pepper, and then Bill Kratzert, see with Dobson, Lindstrom, and Yu Ping Lin. Underway in the second round of the Standard Register Ping here from Moon Valley Country Club in Phoenix, and the Annika Sorenstam watch continues. Welcome back. Annika Sorenstam started this Friday in terrific fashion. Birdied her first 8 holes, made par at 9. And, folks, after shooting 7 under 65 yesterday, she is at 15 under, a 5-shot lead over Dottie Pepper. And what about Chris Cheddar? She hasn't even teed off, Judy. She shoots a tournament course record yesterday. She's 6 shots behind.
Well, maybe we can bring Mary Bryan in on this, because she just saw Chris's caddy, who said, this is amazing that we could be this many shots behind after shooting 63.
Judy, he was shaking his head. He couldn't believe it. He said, this is just unbelievable.
That was Patty Sheehan for birdie at 17, and you can check out the scores brought to you by Shell at the bottom of your screen in alphabetical order. Now at 16, Yu Ping Lin, Bill Kratzert's out there.
And Roger, drew a pretty good lie over here in the rough, has the full expanse of the green. I think the difficulty with this shot is just trying to judge the pace of it, because it is such a long little chip shot.
Well, Bill, the conditions have to be absolutely perfect out there.
Well, they just don't get any better than this. I mean, yesterday was really good, but this is even better. I mean, there is absolutely no wind. I mean, this is, if you're going to get this golf course, these were the 2 days to do it. Man, she's got a shot that if she gets any grass between the club face and the ball, it's going to kind of kill it just a little bit and not have any spin. So just a little bit of guesswork.
Yu Ping Lin will have that for her par. Currently at 8 under on her round today.
$108,000 in her rookie season on the LPGA Tour.
Also playing along with Yu-Ping Lin, Helen Dobson, and Chris Lindstrom.
Yu-Ping Lin missed our last 3 cuts on the tour, so must be a little bit of a surprise to be playing as well as she's playing today.
One of the things, Judy, that we should also mention is this week before the first major, the 2001 LPGA year, being Palm Springs next week, but Abisko. And it's always a good field here at the Standard Register Ping, getting ready for the first major of the year. Long birdie putt for Chris Lindstrom.
Usually an old style golf course, and a course that the tour has been coming to for a long time, is an advantage to those players who have been playing a course for a long time. But I think with new greens this year and a kind of a new look when you're playing your second shot into greens, even the rookies and players who may not have known this course well at all are on equal footing.
We'll go to 17 right now. 360-yard par 4. You see that water on the left-hand side, which does come into play if you want to try to move your golf ball down closer to that green. Obviously, Kari Webb has, she's well back there, Judy.
A lot of players don't take a driver from this tee because it is a pretty demanding driving hole. You have the water to the left, fairway bunker to the right, and if you just get really errant, you can hit it out of bounds to the right.
And in the rough here, you see the overseed, very sticky, that ryegrass they overseed with down here.
Well, she has something with a fair amount of loft, gripping down on the club just a little.
Get up.
Kari Webb playing with Marty Lund and Katrina Matthew as we move back to Yu-Ping Lin at 16. But in terms, Judy, of getting prepared for the first major of the year, this has always, I think, been a good stepping stone to that first major.
Very good. This is Measures is one of the longest golf courses on the tour. This year with the rough up and very significant, really a good warm-up to play at Mission Hills over in Rancho Mirage next week. Good par there.
And the par putt there for Yu-Ping Lin. As we will now move to the first hole here at Moon Valley, 349-yard par 4, and Annika Sorenstam has this putt for birdie.
It's just a short iron into this green. The green is a little bit elevated. You have to hit an iron with a little bit of touch to it to get the ball close to the hole at the first.
She birdied 8 of the first 9, and she's got 9 of 10 so far. Annika Sorenstam now 9 under par on her round today. She birdied her first 8 holes. As she started on the backside, she is now at 16 under. And welcome back here to Phoenix, second round of the Standard Register Ping, and the far right side of your screen right there today. Annika Sorenstam 9 under, Dottie Pepper 6 under. Chris Cheddar is yet to start. You saw Yu-Ping Lin 8 under par. Scoring has been outstanding. As we move to the 15th, 164-yard par 3, and this is Pearl Sin.
All about halfway back in the green, just on the right side. Excellent.
Nancy Scranton.
139 yards at the par 3 11th.
At the 17th, par 4, Kari Webb for birdie.
The familiar, successful, cross-handed style.
Boy, how much of this game is putting, Judy?
I cannot tell you how much of the game is putting when you're at the level Kari Webb is. The good players strike the ball pretty well every day they play, and putting is the dividing line.
Welcome back here to the Standard Register Ping, second round. Roger Twibell, Judy Rankin, Bill Kratzert, Mary Bryan with you as we look at the brand new Solheim Cup captain, Patty Sheehan, her third at the par 4 18th, 408 yards, and she will be a busy lady here over the next year and a half. Judy, you've been there. You understand that?
She'll be a good captain. She'll have a great time.
Nancy Scranton, this at the 11th, her second at the par 3. Nancy opened up with a 468, 1 under on her round today, and she's played some pretty good golf so far this year.
She has played some very good golf so far this year. She has actually taken her scoring average lower in this season, way lower than she's ever seen it before, and it's been paying off with dollars.
Ninth on the money list for Nancy as we move to the par 3 second, and a birdie putt for Annika Sorenstam. Goodness sakes alive, folks. This is absolutely fascinating what's going on with Annika Sorenstam right now. She has now birdied 10 of 11 holes here at the Moon Valley Country Club. Annika Sorenstam is at 17 under, and Judy, we're thinking records, and a lot of them right now.
I'm thinking 50-something.
Wow.
61 is the best round ever recorded on the LPGA Tour. Annika Sorenstam is one of those record holders, along with Sayre Pak and Kari Webb, but I am thinking 50-something.
And the most birdies ever in one round on the LPGA Tour is 11, held by 4 different players. So this is going to be exciting, folks. Call your friends if you happen to be watching. Tell them we're in record-breaking territory right now as Annika Sorenstam is at 17 under par. You're looking at the 17th, 360-yard par 4.
And Roger Lynn's got a little bit of a problem here. She's got that tree right in front of her between her and the flagstick, right past that tree, water. She's got 80 yards to the front. She's got 91 yards to the hole, but I think if she can just elevate it and put any heat behind it at all, she can get it towards the front.
Bill, was she trying to, pardon me, was she trying to be aggressive off the tee, or was it a miss hit over there?
Well, you know, on the left-hand side of this fairway, Roger, there's some rolling, and she caught a little bit of a downslope. The ball pitched forward with a lot of speed on it and just went through the fairway. It wasn't a bad shot. It just kind of a bad break.
Yu Ping Lin 8 under on her round today, as Patty Sheehan has this for par 18.
Round of 78 yesterday. Doubtful that she will be here on the weekend, but she's really just trying to get back into playing a little bit. Hasn't spent a lot of time on the golf course in recent months.
She had a little on her mind yesterday, too.
You bet.
Other than playing golf. Now, Pearl Sin, this putt for birdie. That was at the 15th for Pearl, so birdie for her. A winner in 98 at the State Farm Rail, Pearl Sin. Now, back to the 17th, and Yu Ping Lin.
And Roger, this is the kind of shot that's going to test your nerves right here. Kind of a little bit of a tight lie, you know, a lot of traffic with the players walking up. Golf course in such good condition. Fairways mown tightly, but, you know, she's got enough green to work with. But, you know, 8 under par for the round. Well, this would really be a nice save if she could get this up and in.
And she'll have a chance there, right behind the flagstick. Opened up with an even par 72, 8 under on a round today. Dottie Peppers 6 under today. Pat Hurst 5 under. Fukushima also 5 under. Some good scoring, but none better than Annika Sorenstam, who is 10 under through 11 holes in the second round of the Standard Register Ping. 108-yard par 4.
7 or 8 iron into this 18th green for Kari.
Kari 3rd on the money list, and Judy, that's something we haven't said much the last couple of years. Usually number 1.
Well, is that right? Since 1996, she's been flirting right around that number 1 spot or number 1.
Yu Ping Lin, this putt for par. This young lady is at 8 under on her round today.
Made a nice save on the last hole. See if she can do it 2 holes in a row. Certainly be nice to save it if she can.
Not enough speed there.
Well, her second bogey of the day, she bogeyed the second hole she played this morning, but 9 birdies in between.
That'll drop her back to 7 under for the tournament, and 7 under on her round today. Annika Sorenstam at 17 under par. She has just been phenomenal so far today. 10 birdies in her first 11 holes, the only par at the 18th, her 9th hole. And we invite you to join us tomorrow. Note the time, Saturday at 5 Eastern and 2 Pacific time, as the State Farm Series continues here on ESPN with our 3rd round coverage of this $1 million standard register ping. And Annika, who attended the University of Arizona, is looking to sweep the state this year with a win last week in Tucson and a win this week here in Phoenix. As we go out to another player who has played awfully well today, Dottie Pepper.
Now, Roger, a little low. She just parred the last 2 holes, but shot 30 on the front side, only had 13 putts, hit one of the par 5s and 2, and she is playing very solid golf. I'll tell you, probably hitting the ball as strong as she's ever hit it in her career. And you're going to watch right here, she's going to pick the club up and point it down the line. And what she's doing here is she's checking the club face to make sure it's square. She's been working with Craig Harmon. They worked very hard in making sure the club face is square. She does it on every shot, including her putter. Been razor-like with her irons. This hole playing 139 today. Breeze is now kicked up right in the player's face. Hole location right on the front of the green, just asking for a birdie.
Opened up yesterday with a 4 under 68.
Good shot, Doc.
And good-looking golf shot right there.
And I tell you, she knows what Annika's doing, and that just spurs her on. She's the competitor of all time, right there with Annika.
Doesn't take long for the buzz to move its way around the golf course when somebody's got something special going on, Mary.
No, it doesn't. And the players and the caddies, even in this group, are shaking their heads. It's just unbelievable. And now Amy Alcott, the Hall of Famer, who really struggled yesterday with a round of 79, 7 over par, is even par for the day. Double bogey in the 9th hole. She had it at 2 under one time, and changed clubs. The wind picking up now. It's supposed to blow hard this afternoon, so the players playing this morning, real advantage if they can get a lot of birdies in their golf bag. .139 again. Breeze in her face, playing about 145. This is 6 iron.
Oh, do it again.
Release it home. Shot, Abe.
Beauty, Abe. Sit. Come back.
And just trickles off the putting surface. Earlier, our Mary Bryan had a chance to speak with Amy Alcott. Here's that conversation.
Amy, not long from now, there's going to be a tournament in Los Angeles bearing your name. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm really honored. You know, I've grown up in Los Angeles and played all my golf there, and Wilshire Country Club's a fabulous course, and City of Hope couldn't be a better charity. And, you know, to be asked to put your name on an event, to host it, and with such a great tour and great players out here, I'm really touched.
Well, ESPN will be there, and we look forward to it.
Thank you, Mary.
Amy Alcott, one of the great players in LPGA Tour history, and we're delighted to be a part of the State Farm Series here on ESPN. And we will, of course, be there at Wilshire Country Club. There's what's transpired so far. The Your Life Vitamins down in Orlando, Sari Pak, a winner there. Grace Park at the Office Depot at Doral this week here at Moon Valley. Then the City of Hope, hosted by Amy Alcott. The Kathy Ireland Championship, honoring Harvey Penick at the Onion Creek Club in Austin, Texas. The Chick-fil-A down at Eagles Landing, outside of Atlanta. Then Wegmans, one of the best stops on the LPGA Tour, outside of Rochester, Pittsford, New York. Jamie Farr Kroger Classic, Sylvania, Ohio. Michelob Light, outside of St. Louis. Judy, back in your stomping grounds at the Fox Run Golf Club, where Lori Kane sort of got things moving along this year. The Giant Eagle in Vienna, Ohio. The Wendy's Championship for Children at New Albany, Columbus. And then the final event of the year, where it all culminates, the State Farm Classic at the Rail Golf Course in Springfield, Illinois. Of course, this is a year-long bonus series on the LPGA Tour for the State Farm Series, as Grace Park so far has accumulated the most points. Sayri Pak, Kari Webb, Penny Hamill, and Karin Koch. So we're just into our third event of this State Farm Series. As
we look at Jennifer Rosales.
Out at the 11th, par 3, her second.
She's 2 under for the day and 2 under for the tournament. The wind kind of knocked her shot down from the tee there, but as you can see, left it short for her birdie. Good, solid young player, Judy. Huge arc in her swing. I watched her play when she won the NCAAs in Madison, Wisconsin, and I'll tell you, lots of distance. She's just a tiny little gal and certainly creates a lot of clubhead speed.
Jennifer Rosales with her par. She played awfully well at Doral, Judy. We saw her there in January. Had a good, strong finish in that event.
Well, I first became familiar with her in National Amateur Championships, and she is a fiery little player. Great setup here. Nice extension of her left arm as she sets up to the ball, and then she creates tremendous width in her golf swing. Swings the club up very high. Now from the top, she makes a move and starts back to her left side that lets her body uncoil right there, and she can really stay down with the shot and swing through down the line to the target, swings to a high finish. Wonderful golf swing, one of the better young players out here, just 22 years old.
And likes to listen to some tunes while she works on the practice tee.
Likes to not listen to anybody else.
That's right. Now, Amy Alcott, this is for birdie.
Downhill putt's going to be very quick the first 2 or 3 feet, even though it's off the fringe.
You know, that was always the one club in her bag, Judy, that might have let her down a bit through the years, was the putter.
Well, certainly in that 4 or 5 foot circle around the hole.
Joined the LPGA Tour in '75, was the Rookie of the Year, 29 victories, the last one, the '91 Nabisco Dinah Shore, 5 major championships. Great career for Amy Alcott. And just a moment ago at 18, long birdie putt for Kari Webb.
Putt tries to sneak to the right. But not hard enough.
As we'll move back to the 11th, the par 3. Dottie Pepper, this putt for birdie.
And a very makeable putt, Roger. It's about an 8-footer, just gently downhill, should break, it looks like in your eyes, from right to left, but I think it'd be fairly straight. The valley, or the low part of the valley here, and they call the Valley of the Sun, is the city of Phoenix, and it pulls it that direction. Her caddy, Worth Blackwelder, both of them have looked over the putt, talked about it, and this now for her 7th birdie of the day.
One more ounce of speed, and she makes it.
Out 18, second shot for Yuping Lin.
Roger, a perfect drive, just 177 yards to the hole, and as Mary said, the wind picking up just a little bit right into the player's face. Opting to go with a 5-iron, trying to turn it right to left, but it's going to hang on her.
This 18th green was very firm yesterday, and I think a lot of players are playing their second shot in, expecting one big bounce, and it's much more receptive to a well-struck shot today.
And we'll move to the 15th. Par 3, 164 yards. Jenny Lidback.
A good bet is that is Jenny's 9 wood. Very lofted fairway metal club.
Judy, a few years ago, this was a par 73 course.
That's correct. And the 15th was a very short kind of odd little par 4 where you could not play a driver off the tee and you had to play a second over a tree to a green with a couple of different tiers. So it's a good par 3 now.
This has been a good year for the players in the LPGA Tour making aces, and Jenny Lindback happened to be one of those players as we were in Orlando for the Your Life Vitamins LPGA Classic.
Memory serves me well, that was an 8-iron.
One hopping in. Meg Nallen also made an ace there in Orlando. Michelle Estel, the 2001 Office Depot 15th hole, 143 yards with an 8-iron. Now, she also had made one the previous week in Naples. And that's 2 weeks in a row.
That's exactly what that was, Roger.
Wow.
Can I tell you a great story?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
About 10 days ago, a week ago in Australia, Kelly Robbins is playing in the Australian Open, and she gets up on the tee box, and there's a big sign that there's big money for a hole-in-one, 200 and some thousand Australian dollars. She tells her caddy, Chuck Parisi, if I make this hole-in-one, you get half. Stood up, put a 7-iron in the hole, half went to charity, and half of what was left went to Chuck Parisi. Everybody was happy.
Great story. That was the tee shot for Pat Hurst at 11 a few moments ago. There's Joanne Carner. Joanne won over on her round so far today, but a good-looking tee shot right there.
Funny thing is that she has been tweaking her swing for, I don't know, maybe 50 years now. She's still doing it.
We'll go to the 12th. 394-yard par 4. This is Nancy Scranton. This is her third shot. 2 under on her round today, and Nancy will have that left for her par. Nancy a tie for 7th last week, a tie for 3rd the week before that. Nancy's had 4 top 10 finishes already this year. As we look at 18 and Yu Ping Lin.
And she's got a birdie putt that pretty much is going to be uphill all the way. There's a little bit of a ridge coming off the back portion of this green. Actually, this 18th green has a lot of movement in it as players look at it from the fairway. And you know, if she puts the right pace on that, even though it's got some length to it, this is very makeable.
So she can make the short one there for a second round of 65, and for a player whose best finish last year was a tie for 17th, that is off to a very good start.
Good start. Opened up with a even par 72. We'll return with more of our second round coverage here of the Standard Registered Ping. Annika Sorenstam is leading the way. We'll check in on her in just a moment. Welcome back. Annika Sorenstam at 17 under par for the tournament. And, folks, she is rolling along on this day. Began on the 10th hole and reeled off 8 consecutive birdies. The hot streak is continued on the front side as we go to Annika at the 3rd, 336-yard par 4. This just a moment ago, her second shot. She has already birdied 1 and 2. 10 birdies in her first 11 holes.
Her coach from Sweden has been here with her recently, Henry Reese, and she was feeling very confident last week because he was at her side.
As we go now live to Annika, this for yet one more birdie. This would be 11 out of 12.
The hole begins to look like a bucket.
There it is. Annika Sorenstam now 18 under for the tournament and ties an LPGA record for most birdies in one round at 11. She is 11 under on her round today, and the 4th hole is a par 5 measuring 511 yards. There's also a short par 5, the 8th, which is just 476 yards. And Judy, this is record stuff that we're looking at here right now, but it's not in the scope of things coming from Sweden and the way they're taught, not out of the realm of possibilities.
Annika came up through some Swedish junior programs. She has had a mentor and teacher at times, Pia Nilsson, who has had an awful lot to do with the Swedish programs. And one of the things that they teach young players is to have a 54 vision. Have a vision that you could birdie every hole. And Annika said in a press conference yesterday, I tried to birdie every hole.
She's doing a pretty darn good job of it so far today as we move to Dottie Pepper, her second out of the par 4-12.
150 to the hole. Hole location way back on the screen over a little hump. That's got to jump some. Oh, she got a nice kick on that. So Dottie Pepper, the American player, Judy, who probably thinks she can birdie every hole.
She makes us believe it about half the time, too, Mary.
I think so.
At the 11th, the par 3, Joanne Carner was for birdie. Very gently stroked.
Beautiful.
And yeah, Joanne Carner gets back to even on her round today. And a few moments before Joanne, this long birdie attempt by Pat Hurst.
Pat Hurst has to be very happy to be playing well this week. This is the town where she and husband Jeff and son Jackson live.
Now, coming up on ABC Sports Saturday at 3 Eastern Time, ABC brings you more exciting NHL action. The Avalanche will host the Red Wings in a battle of the top Western Conference team. Rangers against the Flyers, Sharks versus the Kings. Check your local listings for the game in your area. The NHL on ABC, home of the Stanley Cup. That's hockey coming your way on Saturday. Well, so many of the players on the LPGA Tour make their home in this area, so Annika Sorenstam, right now, it's got to feel like home to her. 1,200 on the round today. ESPN's second round coverage of the LPGA Standard Register Ping is being brought to you by Ping Custom Fit Golf Clubs. Ping, a club for every shot in your bag. By Chick-fil-A, we didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. And by Ritz Crackers, the official snack of the LPGA. Nothing fits like Ritz. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, and the LPGA are glad you're with us for our second round coverage of the Standard Register Ping. We're at the Moon Valley Country Club in Phoenix, Arizona. And we are in record-setting territory with Annika Sorenstam, who is 11 under par so far through 12 holes in the second round. She has an 8-shot lead at the moment over Dottie Pepper. She birdied her first 8 holes of the day, beginning at the par 5 10th. 1 par, that was at 18. Along with Judy Rankin, I'm Roger Twibell, Bill Kratzer, Mary Bryan out on the golf course. And let's take you back to some of the highlights from today at the 12th, 394-yard par 4. Annika Sorenstam, birdies at 10 and 11. This for 3 in a row. And Judy, no easy putt here.
No, this was a long one. She had finished the day yesterday birdieing her last 2 holes for a round of 65. And so now that's 5 in a row if you don't count a little rest through the night.
13, 506-yard par 5. This was for eagle.
Reachable par 5 for just the longest players in the field.
Would just slide by, but would get her birdie there. And on to 14, 355-yard par 4, her second.
A wedge.
And this today to start with 5 straight. Let's see if she roll that one in. Then at 15, the par 3. This for 6 birdies in a row. I'll tell you what, it is rolling right now as we go to 16, 414-yard par 4, her second.
Gets a little help here from the high point at the back of the green.
And uses that slope to her advantage. And this would be for 7 straight birdies to start her day. right in the heart of the cup. On to 17, 360-yard par 4. And Annika Sorenstam, good catch there. Don't want to drop that hot putter. Now this is a downhill birdie opportunity, Judy.
You know, she talked about how calm she felt last week and in her round yesterday. Not so calm right here.
That, folks, 8 straight birdies. And now she's wondering in amazement, how many more would it be? Take a look at Kari Webb here at 15 for birdie. And around and in. Of course, Annika and Kari have battled for the top player in the world the last couple of years. Now, at the first, 349-yard par 4 for yet another birdie. And after the par at 18, so that would be 9 out of 10.
Each of these putts has perfect speed.
At the second, par 3, 170 yards for 10 of 11. The majority of them, Judy, are right in the center of the cup. Then at the third, 336-yard par 4, and the gallery's starting to swell as people are hearing about what's going on with Annika Sorenstam, and yet again, another birdie. That's 11 of 12.
And now she looks at the 2 par 5s remaining on the front 9 to try to build this round.
Annika Sorenstam, what a day so far. 12 under.
Bunker shot.
Uh-huh.
Welcome back. Annika Sorenstam at 18 under par for the tournament. She is 11 under on her round so far today through 12 holes. Dottie Pepper made her par. She remains 6 under on her round today and 8 shots back. And we've got women's NCAA basketball coming your way on ESPN2. The hometown team, the Arizona State Sun Devils, taking on the LSU Tigers. That's coming up today at 3 Eastern. 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time, and then on ESPN, the Missouri Tigers and the Badgers of Wisconsin, that at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN. Remember, ESPN and ESPN2, the exclusive home of the women's NCAA basketball tournament. Joanne Carner out at the 12th, her third at this 394-yard par 4.
Roger, it's the kind of bunker shot that you need to land right on the spine of the ridge that goes right through the middle of the green.
Well, it executed pretty well, but not quite enough spin.
Pat Hurst taking a good look at her birdie opportunity. Pat 5 under on her round today, opened up with a 3 under 69.
Roger, she's got a pretty difficult putt because that ridge that I was talking about, she's on the other side of it. Although she hit a pretty good shot, she drove it in the left rough and just kind of had to chomp down on an 8-iron, just kind of put it somewhere on the green, which was a smart play. But this putt right here, you know, you really can't figure a good line on it, but you can certainly figure out the pace, and that's what this putt's all about.
Really should play well here this week. Plays a lot of golf at Moon Valley when she's at home.
Best finish this year, tied for 4th at the Takafuji Classic. Her only top 10 finish so far this year.
Turn right, turn right, turn right.
Terrific effort.
Boy, it just melted over that left edge.
Got away from playing golf competitively before she came to the LPGA Tour because she said it was just kind of wearing on her stomach. It was just a little too much for her. And now she comes back and has built a great resume and is one of the toughest competitors out here.
That's Pat Hurst, who currently finds herself at 8 under for the tournament, but 11 shots behind our leader, Annika Sorenstam. And Annika on fire at the standard registered ping. You can log on to LPGA.com, get all the news and information from the LPGA Tour, Solheim Cup. Check our air times on ESPN. Everything you need to know about golf, and the tip of the week, too. Help you with your golf game. That's LPGA.com. Joanne Carter.
Roger, this putt for par is to try to stay even par for the day, and this putt has the appearance that it wants to try to work just a little bit to her right. A little bit downhill.
Just not enough speed. Now at 13, second shot for Dottie Pepper at this 506-yard par 5.
And she can reach it. She's only 218 to the hole, 198 to the front. Perfect tee shot she hit. No breeze right at the moment, and this is moving left. That was her 7-wood. I think she caught that bunker, Roger.
Absolutely. Gorgeous day here in the Valley of the Sun. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Little or no breeze at all. Clear blue skies. Course is in perfect shape. And Annika Sorenstam, my goodness, 18 under. And poor Chris Cheddar, who set the tournament course record yesterday, is going to come out to the golf course and just probably feeling like $1 million, Judy, and take a look and just say, how did that happen?
You have to remember in golf, you cannot control what the other player does, only what you do.
Now, Jennifer Rosales out at 13.
After a monster drive, she's only 174 to the front of this green on this 506-yard par 5. She has an iron in her hand. She works the ball pretty strongly, right to left.
Averaged 254 yards last year off the tee.
And Judy, I think she's just only going to get better. She just really learned to play the game. She turned pro after her first year in college, so she still has a lot of learning to do.
We're going to check in on Annika Sorenstam at the 4th hole, 511-yard par 5. And this is her 3rd shot. Annika started out her round on the backside with 8 consecutive birdies. Parred the 18th hole. Has birdied the first 3 holes on the front side. And her eagle attempt comes up just short. And that'll be a tap in for yet one more birdie, Judy, to get her to 12 under.
Talk about one of those days of your life when you have a golden touch. I just see touch in everything she's doing around the putting surface. And I think I've seen every hole she's played today. I don't believe that Annika Sorenstam has missed a green. Hit 15 greens in a round yesterday of 65, but I don't believe she's missed a green in regulation today.
So that's where she stands at 19 under for the tournament. 12 under on a round today, and folks, we're looking in the 50s.
That's an exciting thing.
Welcome back. Second round of the standard registered ping, and Annika Sorenstam is just doing something special on this Friday out here in the Valley of the Sun. She is at 12 under on her round today. Judy, she has birdied 12 of 13 holes, her only par at the 18th, which was her 9th hole.
It's an astounding round. It's been an astounding season for her. She didn't play the first 3 tournaments of the year. She has played the last 3, and in fact, her worst finish is second.
Yeah,
2 seconds
second and first,
and a first. So this is some kind of beginning to a year for Annika Sorenstam.
And we see Chris Cheddar, who set the tournament course record yesterday, 9 under 63. And well, she's going to get going here in a little bit and see what she can do on this Friday. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Our coverage on ESPN at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific time. 3rd round of this $1 million standard registered ping, part of the State Farm Series. And for more, you can log on to ESPN.com. Now, out at 13, par 5, 3rd shot for Dottie Pepper.
Tough to get it close to this hole, green sloping away from her. That was just about as good as you could do from that downhill lie.
Amy Alcott at 13. Long birdie putt for Amy.
Very long, Roger. It's a good 40, maybe a little over 40 feet. She was always good at the long putts, but the short putts are the ones that used to kind of eat her lunch, so to speak. Nice looking putt there. In fact, earlier today on the 7th hole, she made one of about 65 feet.
We're just checking. Chris Cheddar, it's about an hour, Judy, before she even tees off here.
1:30 local time. Yeah, she was just about losing ground while she was sleeping today.
You know, Judy, of all the tournaments we've done, the State Farm Series, and I think back over the years, the conditions couldn't be any better than they have been yesterday and today.
Jennifer Rosales, she's got an eagle opportunity here, Mary.
She does, and she's on the fringe. She's got about 5, maybe 6 feet of fringe to deal with, but it's straight downhill. The ball's going to bounce on her a little bit, and then when it gets to the green, it's going to be very quick. The green's sloping away from her.
Finished tied for third at Doral, had a terrific final round there, 10th last week in Tucson.
Well, she made $109,000 last year, and she's already made $71,000 this year, so she's in pretty good stead at this point. And this ball's going to move from her right to left, but it's just a matter of what kind of jump she gets off this tall fringe around the green.
Well, it did not get off well. It should make for an easy 2-putt, but the fringe is an unpredictable thing.
And Judy, that's just one I think you want to have good touch on and get it around the cup and make sure you 2-putt.
Fiery little competitor and a very emotional player. She will wear her emotions on her sleeve during a round of golf.
Originally from the Philippines, attended USC. And State Farm brings you the scores at the bottom of your screen in alphabetical order.
The Amakapani sisters can go just about 2 minutes from Moon Valley to their dad's grill. And I'm sure they do that often when they're in Phoenix. A lot of players, a lot of people associated with the tournament go to visit during this week.
Dottie Pepper.
And Roger, this very much the same line that Jennifer Rosales' ball just rolled on. This for birdie. This would put her at 11 under par. She's had good opportunities all the way through on this back 9, under 10 feet. Just has not made them. She's stroked them well, haven't dropped, so I think she's due for one. That's what's happened now the last 4 holes. She's had it within 10 feet, so she'll remain at 6 under for the day and 10 under for the tournament.
Opened up with a 4 under 68. And Dottie taps in for her par. As we'll check in with Nancy Scranton right now. This out at the 14th, 355-yard par 4.
Probably just a wedge into this green for Nancy. Hole in the back portion of the green today.
Terrific golf shot right there. Checked up quickly for Nancy Scranton. 9th on the money list this year.
Well, I talked earlier about her scoring average. Her scoring average in the year 2000, 72.57. So far this season, and it is a young season yet, but she's taken that scoring average down to 70.86, and
wow.
That resonates in your bank account.
Out at 17, 360-yard par 4, Jenny Lidback. Jenny 2 under on her round today. Opened up with a 2 under 70. Oh, very good bounce right there. As we go to Jennifer Rosales, this for birdie at the par 5 13th. Welcome back. Joanne Carner out at the par 5 13th, 506 yards, her second.
That's from 222, Roger. Easily reachable. Boy, she has caught all of this one. In fact, this needs to get down.
Right. Sit down. Sit. Right there.
And that is settled down in that thick rough.
That ball just hit so firmly at the front. Still a good shot, though.
Well, the most birdies, Judy, in one round in LPGA Tour history, 11, shared by 4 players, but already Annika with 12 today. So, and the buzz on the golf course, it's moving around out there. And Bill, you mentioned a lot of the players already, looking at the board, pulling for her to shoot in the 50s.
Yeah, in fact, in my group, the lady that's hitting right now, Pat Hurst, hitting her 3rd shot, she came up and she said, boy, I hope she does it. That'd be wonderful for golf to see a lady shooting the 50s. And
Never been done before.
I couldn't agree with her more, and Joanne Connor, same feeling.
Players love to win, but players really, really stand back and applaud somebody with a great performance.
Good point, Judy.
Well, the round for Annika is not over yet. Judy, you have seen probably more rounds than you would like to
I ever
admit
thought I was going to.
But this has really got to be a special day, what you're seeing from Annika Sorenstam.
I tell you, I feel excitement for her in this round, and you can only imagine the kind of feelings she's having inside. I mean, you do at this point really want that calmness that will allow you to finish this round off well, but the joy that you feel of everything you've put in, and now it's going to culminate in one beautiful round of golf is a very big deal.
Well, we tend to think of the Swedes as very stoic performers, sort of like the ice water running through the veins, not real emotional at times.
There's a little bit of that, too.
And, I remember the last year when Annika's sister Charlotta won here in Phoenix. We're playing at the Legacy Golf Course, and that was as emotional as you'd see Annika Sorenstam when that happened.
That's right.
Well, coming up later on ESPN, of course, stay tuned for SportsCenter. They'll have everything coming your way. Hey, how about some more upsets in the NCAA tournament? What a day yesterday was. Sammy Sosa's going to remain a Chicago Cub, and highlights from Bay Hill on the PGA Tour. Of course, they'll update you on everything that's transpired here at the Standard Register Ping, our second round coverage here on ESPN, as we move to 13, and Joanne Carter, her 3rd.
Well, as you said, Roger, the ball's sitting down. This kind of shot you need a little bit of luck on, just to kind of hit it the right distance.
What a great play.
Even though it looked like she missed that shot, that's exactly how she wanted to hit it.
So Joanne will have a little tap in for her birdie. Judy, where do you think she got that hat, by the way?
That would have to be out of Palm Beach, Florida, where she makes her home.
Yeah. Might be her fishing hat, too, huh?
I don't think her fishing hat is nearly that pretty.
Is it?
What a great character.
She is.
Holds so many USGA titles, didn't become a professional until age 30, and has put her mark on professional golf forever.
Now, Nancy Scranton, this for birdie. As we will move to the 5th hole, par 3, after Nancy just taps that in, and this at the par 3 5th. Annika, this for birdie, this for yet another. And she make it 13 of 14. So very close as we move to Amy Alcott.
That from 113 yards, just a little 9-iron knocked down. And she's left it about 30 feet short of the pin. Breeze is really not a factor back in this corner. It's very protected by the trees and the mountains on the left side of the hole.
Yeah, he's going down. It's just inside the...
Now Pat Hurst. So Pat Hurst misses the birdie attempt, and we move to Dottie Pepper.
That from 99 out of the rough flyer live. It carries that bunker to jump. Ooh, and she asked for a good hop, and she got one. Tell you what, she's right there for another birdie opportunity. She's now had 6 holes without one.
Back to the 5th, and the short par putt for Annika Sorenstam, and so her 2nd par of the day. So she is through the 5th hole on the front side. And so far, 12 birdies in 14 holes for Annika Sorenstam. She leads by 9. Welcome back to the Standard Register Ping, second round coverage here on ESPN from the Moon Valley Country Club in Phoenix, Arizona, and Annika Sorenstam. What a story so far. As we move to 15, par 3, 164 yards, and Nancy Scranton. 1 under today, 5 under for the tournament. And Judy, the good news with what Annika's doing today is that there are a couple days left, and actually for a lot of players, they haven't even started their second round.
Yeah, I think they have to count their lucky stars that it is just the second round and that it's Friday, because they do have a chance to possibly come back and give her a run for her money. And who knows what Annika will do on the weekend, but if I were a betting person, I would bet it's going to be something pretty good.
And I think it's been proven through the years that when a player has that really great round, whether it's 61, 62, 60 possibly, the next day invariably it seems to be about 10 to 12 shots higher.
It seems to be hard to follow up the great round with a very good round, but I would say if any player is capable of doing that, Annika is, because she is so disciplined and she is so sort of at peace in her golf mind.
Well, stay tuned here on ESPN. We've got tennis coming your way, the Tennis Masters Series from Indian Wells, California, presented by Newsweek at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific time in the men's quarterfinal. John Michael Campbell will take on Kafelnikov, and then men's quarterfinal at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time tonight. That's coming up later right here on ESPN. And if Annika Sorenstam doesn't finish by the time we go off the air, we'll provide cut-ins to let all of our viewers know exactly what's going on, as she is on record-setting pace. No player in LPGA Tour history has shot in the 50s. She already has 12 birdies today. That's the first time that's ever happened in one round. Jennifer Rosales.
This for back-to-back birdies, Roger. And, she thought she had it. Just what you said, Judy. You see her emotions. Kind of fun between she and Dottie to see the emotions in these two players.
Well, I don't know how it reflects on your television screen at home, but Jennifer Rosales is not a very big young woman. Really kind of a mighty mite when she hits the ball such a long way.
Well, the one thing I notice about her, Judy, is what long arms she has. I mean, which provides that big, huge arc you were talking about. Very low-waisted, too, so she makes that huge turn. Now, Dottie, who I think is, I'm going to root for her right here because she's due. She birdied 6 of her first 8 holes this morning. You see her putting that putter up, checking the alignment of the club face, just like she does with the driver or an iron, making sure she has it square. This is a 6-footer, this for birdie. This would put her at 11 under par and 7 under for the day. In normal circumstances, we'd be talking about the hot pepper round. Just maybe gently downhill.
God, Dottie, hit a solid putt. Crying out loud.
So there.
That just about sums that up.
Hit a solid putt, and she's had opportunities in every hole.
Now, for birdie at 13, Fukushima. Akiko Fukushima, 5 under on a round today. Opened up with a 2 under 70. A lot of good scoring. Yu Ping Ling with a 65 today. Also with a 65, Susie Redmond today. Now, Amy Alcott. Out at 15, long birdie attempt by Nancy Scranton.
Nancy played on the Solheim Cup team last year. A great experience for her. She was one of the 10 qualifiers.
Out at 14, Joanne Carner, her second at this par 4.
That from a pretty good lie. The only thing she had to guard against was the tree that overhangs the green. It actually just went just shy of it, and that's even though it ran over the green, that's still a pretty good shot, Roger.
Not too bad where she was coming from. Wind starting to pick up just a little bit, as you can see the flagstick there. So, Joanne Carner at age 61 showing awfully well for herself this week. Annika Sorenstam by 9 over Dottie Pepper. Chris Cheddar is not yet teed off in the second round of the Standard Register Penguin. Out at 14, second shot for Pat Hurst at this 355-yard par 4.
Huge drive, Roger, just 83 yards. Pat with the ability to put a lot of spin on the ball.
Oh, look at this shot. Terrific golf shot there. Pat Hurst, 5 under on her round today, staring a birdie right in the face as we move to Dottie Pepper.
164 yards, 15th hole, the par 3, hole location right in the front of the green.
Carry.
Got to carry the bunker.
No.
And you know, that's what happens. You start missing birdie putts, and then you start kind of fiddling around, and you miss a shot or two.
Moment ago, Jennifer Rosales here at the par 3 from the left side of the tee.
Looks like that gives you the best look in at the hole location today.
And boy, Judy, she put some hang time on that iron. Really hit it high. Wonderful golf shot.
As we go to the 6th hole, 393-yard par 4, and Annika Sorenstam, who has birdied 12 of her first 14, looking at this birdie putt. Well, that'll be yet just one of 3 pars on the day so far for Annika Sorenstam. Taking a look at her playing partner's line. Just want to make sure she doesn't interfere with that. As she will tap that in. So pars at 5 and 6 for Annika. As she remains 12 under on her round today. And a 9-shot lead. Welcome back out at the 14th. This short birdie putt for Pat Hurst. And so Pat Hurst now will move to 9 under. And a bit earlier, this was Joanne Carner.
And Roger, this was a good play using the putter out of the back fringe. Really taking all the risk out of the shot.
So Annika Sorenstam, that asterisk indicating that she teed off on the backside, and oh did she ever. She birdied her first 8 holes before making par at 9, then birdied the first 4 holes on the front side. Now made back-to-back pars at 5 and 6. As we go out to Dottie Pepper at the par 3 15th, her second.
And not a real hard bunker shot. She's got to elevate it up about 4.5, maybe 5 feet, but she has about 15 feet of green to work with, and she'll get a lot of roll when the ball hits the green. Percentage this year, she's only gotten it up and down 33% of the time.
Well, it looks like she might have gotten a little better shot out of that had she carried it just a foot or 2 farther.
Yeah, Judy, I think she hit something. I think the club hit something hard in the bunker. She's looking down there like she hit a rock or something, and Worth is down there looking as well. I guess he'll find out when he rakes her.
And before Dottie played, Amy Alcott.
Very similar shot that Dottie just had, and always a great bunker player.
Well, when they did the course renovations here, and that's a terrific shot by Amy, they added 33 bunkers, Judy, so there's a lot more of opportunities for players to find trouble as we look at Nancy Scranton.
Well, these greens are producing a lot of birdies, but visually it is certainly a beautiful look. The golf course is updated, it's fresh, it looks modern. I think the members are going to have a great time playing this course for a long time.
Great looking shot there by Nancy Scranton as we move to Jennifer Rosales now in this birdie attempt.
Just about 11 feet, pretty straight putt, might break just slightly to her left, just to put her at 3 under par.
Carries her hands and arms a long way from her body, completely free of her body.
Now that fooled both of us, Judy. It broke off to the right.
So Jennifer will settle for her par.
Little pain and suffering there. You know, you hate to waste a good shot.
She turned the cap around, tried to get the rally going. You know. Now, out at 16, second shot for Michelle Redmond.
One of the harder par 4s on the golf course.
Saw Michelle in contention at Doral earlier this year. Really had a difficult last 9 holes there. But a couple of top 10 finishes so far for her as we move to Dottie Pepper at 15 for her par.
6-footer straight up the hill. She hasn't made him for birdie, so maybe she can make this for par. And, ooh, I thought she had a good putt. So her first bogey of the day here at 15.
You have to hit it really close to make it.
Well, I think you made a good point, Mary. She had so many good opportunities, and then you start trying to hit it a little bit closer, and maybe you grip that club just a little bit tighter.
Just get frustrated,
Yeah.
Roger. She's played great golf, though.
Dottie Pepper, a winner at the LPGA Tour Championship at Daytona Beach last November. Now as we go to the tee at 15 and Pat Hurst.
Good iron player, long driver. Pat Hurst with the best financial year of her career last year, $840,000.
Currently 20th on the money list. Now Joanne Carner. What Judy is Joanne got planned for her golfing career now at this stage of her life?
If I can talk over her shot to the par 3 here, she's doing a few golf schools for women, and I want to tell you she is absolutely hysterical when she tells you about it. She videos these women, and she said she finds it very interesting when they go in and look at the video, all they talk about is, I'm never wearing those shorts again. She said, here I am really trying to grind on their golf swing, and they're talking about the clothes they're wearing.
That's right. Well, what a great tee shot right there by Joanne Carner.
She can tell a story like none other.
She can. Now Penny Hamill. Penny 1 under on her round today. Opened up with a 3 under 69.
A student in the last year or so of Bob Toski.
Second round of the Standard Register Ping, and Annika Sorenstam has a 10-shot lead. ESPN's second round coverage of the LPGA Standard Register Ping has been brought to you by Standard Register, touching your life through innovation. By Ping, custom fit golf clubs. Ping, a club for every shot in your bag. And by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. The State Farm Insurance Companies continue their support of women's athletics and the Ladies Professional Golf Association with the 2001 State Farm LPGA Series. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And welcome back here to Moon Valley Country Club, Phoenix, Arizona. Second round of the Standard Register Ping. Annika Sorenstam has just been on a tear today in record-breaking territory. Annika 19 under for the tournament as she has just been throwing birdies at this Moon Valley Country Club course on a regular basis. Coming up next, the Tennis Masters Series from Indian Wells, Gamble, and Kafelnikov in a men's quarterfinal. And, of course, we'll update you on the progress of Annika Sorenstam, who on this day, I'll tell you what, folks, she has just played some absolutely marvelous golf. 12 birdies, that's a record for the LPGA Tour in one round. She is 12 under The low 18-hole score in LPGA Tour history, 3 players, including Annika, Saripak, and Kari Webb, 61. So she's on record-breaking territory there as we move to Annika. This at the 7th, 401-yard par 4. This for birdie. She's parred the last 2 holes. Well, good effort. And so just a little short tap-in par at the 7th. So 2 holes remaining, and Judy, the key hole, the 8th, the par 5, 476 yards.
Reachable. It was the easiest hole on the golf course in the first round yesterday. If she plays 2 good shots, she should get a run at an eagle.
So there it is. Annika Sorenstam, 12 birdies through 16 holes. She began her day on the 10th hole, made 8 consecutive birdies, shot 28 on her first 9 holes. As Nancy Scranton now for birdie at 16. Missed a real good opportunity at the 15th there. She rolls it in. So Nancy gets to 6 under. And Joanne Carner. Let's say birdie putt for Joanne at 15, par 3. Hit a lovely tee shot in there. Opened with a 468, and the birdie there gets her 1 under on this round today and 5 under for the tournament. And before Joanne, Pat Hurst. This for birdie. And yeah.
Roger, we need to play this afternoon.
Well, I think we
Everyone
ought
is
to.
making birdies.
There's got to be something in the air here. There's got to be something going on. We need to go find it, Judy, is what we need to do. As we take a look, good scoring today. Yu Ping Lin, a 7 under 65. Nice playing by her. Pat Hurst now 9 back of our leader. Chris Cheddar has yet to tee off. Chris with going to be a short-lived record at a course and tournament round yesterday. And we'll be back with you tomorrow, our 3rd round coverage. 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific time, right here on ESPN. This standard register ping part of the State Farm Series. As Annika Sorenstam, a winner last week in Tucson. Her sister Charlotta, the defending champion in this event. Annika finished 3rd a year ago when they played at the Legacy Golf Resort while they were doing some renovations. So let's run through some scores here in the 2nd round. We've got a few more minutes before we go off the air. And once again, we'll update you in the tennis on the progress of Annika Sorenstam. You see Joanne Carner at 5 under. Good round by Susie Redmond, 7 under 65. The asterisk indicating those players that teed off on the backside. Saw Jenny Lidback earlier, 1 under 71. And Judy, once again, the good news is it's early on Friday. There's a lot of golf left to be played in this 72-hole event.
That is the good news for the rest of the field. Annika Sorenstam seems to have separated herself from the field, but with 2 rounds left, you never know.
Meg Mallon, 1 under. Also, Michelle McGann. Michelle had a good finish last week in Tucson. Sophie Gustafsson won a tournament down in Australia just a few weeks ago.
Charlotta Sorenstam playing along with Annika today with Meg Mallon. Those 3 are a pairing and getting to enjoy this fine round of her sisters.
And we'll go out to 16. Second shot for Dottie Pepper.
This is one of the tougher holes on the golf course, and Dottie has hit a perfect tee shot. She's 156 to the hole, 133 to the front. Can't see the green. There's a big, huge mound right in front of the hole location, but she wants to land this probably about 15 feet short of the hole, and it should jump forward.
Dottie tied for 2nd last week, and
that's going well left, Roger.
understand she made a huge putt on the last hole.
Huge putt in Tucson on the 18th hole. She had gotten in a very bad spot in a bunker and couldn't play much of a shot, just got it out and made it from at least 35, 40 feet to tie for 2nd in Tucson last Sunday afternoon when Annika was winning.
Annika was 23 under. That event played down at Randolph Park in Tucson.
Judy and Roger, you know that at this point, after last week and where Annika is now, she's 42 under par for her golf in the last week and a half.
Pretty astounding.
Yeah.
I think she should buy property in Arizona.
Yeah, I agree.
Par 3 15th, Akiko Fukushima, 5 under on her round today. Playing 164 yards. And 70 players at -1. You start thinking about the cut. But a lot of golf left to be played. The leader yesterday, Chris Cheddar, hasn't teed off as of yet. Annika Sorenstam in record-breaking territory. We'll keep you updated on her final 2 holes, and we'll see if she can crack that 60 barrier and get into the 50s. The tennis coming up next from Indian Wells, Gamble against Kafelnikov, the Tennis Masters Series. And we'll be back with you tomorrow for third round coverage at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific time. Once again, Annika Sorenstam has birdied 12 of 16. She has got 2 holes left to play as she is trying to get into the 50s, and we'll keep you updated during the tennis. For Judy Rankin and Mary Bryan and Bill Kratzer, I'm Roger Twyble. Thanks for being with us. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. We'll talk with you later.